Mother Russia strikes with a vengeance, because today I am reviewing a game that I've been anticipating for a very long time to come to console, and that is Tannenberg, the World War I game series. I don't want to say phenomenon, but the World War I game series continues here on console, even though it's been on PC since 2017. But here we are, 3 years later on console, playing this game. So today's video is going to be basically me reviewing this game and what I think about it. There are some things I like about it more than Verdun, because this is basically Verdun's Russian counterpart. And there are some things that I do not like. So let me get into the things I do like first. One, Maneuver is a very good game mode. It's basically Conquest from Battlefield. If you played Conquest, you know how to play Maneuver. It's really not all that difficult to understand. You just have to capture certain areas, and in doing so, that determines whether or not your team can move up or you get moved back by the opposite team. So you can't capture certain parts of the map until you capture other ones. So like for instance, if I'm capturing this part of the map, I'm pretty sure our team can't move on to that point that you saw there to my left until we capture this one. And that point right there you see in front of me, not the one I'm capping, is a major point to take. The center points with the star are basically determine how much farther you can move on throughout the match. If the enemy has that, if the enemy has that, that should be your prime target to cap, and vice versa if you're on the enemy team. The one thing I don't like about the capture points, though, is because they're all very condensed trenches. In Verdun, some of the trenches that you're in do have some space to them, and that's nice. But in this, it's basically a clusterfuck, for lack of better terms. You're basically trying to cap a trench circle, where enemy team can throw in various grenades, artillery. It's an explosive spam. It basically controls explosive spam. And excuse me, I can't fucking speak for some reason, but it really is a pain in the ass. I've seen it done to friends of mine on PC that play the game. It's not a fun experience. It's just a real pain. As you can see here, I'm also trying to do my normal NCO orders. For some reason, the NCO controls are a lot more difficult in this game. In Verdun, they're very straightforward. One has your bots charge up, because there are bots in this game as well if you cannot fill the match with players. So, and when you do put orders in Verdun, you know, the bots are pretty responsive to it. They'll sit in that little area that you've marked, and they'll be like, okay, we're gonna kill as many guys as we can until we die, and until they spawn on you, they're just gonna keep doing the same thing until the order changes, which is good. And on the other side, there's artillery. And artillery, of course, as we know in Verdun, is very powerful, depending on what kind of artillery you have, whether it's the single mortar or like the massive howitzer strike. In Tannenberg, they're not really all that responsive. In this game alone, I think I counted at least 3 or 4 where I tried to tell my bots, hey, I need you to get the fuck over here, but for some reason they're fucking off to the other side of the map trying to get a different capture point. So the capture point that I'm trying to mark for them to take, half the time they're not responding to it, and by the time I need them there, they're already on the other side of the map, and now their slow ass has to get all the way back there. It really is a pain to control the bots in this game. Apparently this game was made with a very, very strong focus on squad orders. So you technically have to play in a full lobby for this to be even remotely responsive as you want it to be, but it is what it is. Squads, there's not a whole lot of variety to them. I mean, it's Russians versus German and German allies. I think the most German squad we have is the infantry, or however the fuck you say it. It has like some sort of accent to it. I don't know. I don't speak a foreign language, so they're the most German-looking squad. But they also have, I believe they have. I'm not sure if they have the Romanians and the Bulgarians, or that the Romanians are on the Russian side. I haven't really done too much diving into the squads and how they actually maneuver. Although some of the weapons are pretty cool, as you can see in the earlier parts of this game, I was using the Mosin Nagant, which is a pretty solid rifle. It's serviceable. And then here I am using the repeater Russian 18-something gun, which is a gun you recognize probably from Battlefield 1. It's really not all that. I mean, it should be familiar to many of us who have played that game, who were primarily scouts. I'd say this is a better gun than the Mosin Nagant, but there are some things about the gunplay in this game I could really do without. For instance, gun sway. Gun sway is something that I just cannot stand. For some fucking reason, the gun sway in this game is turned up a notch. In Verdun, it adds a skill gap. It adds a very serviceable skill gap to where you actually have to understand how to control it, and it's not all that prevalent. Once you understand how to control it, hitting shots should be like clockwork. In this game, for whatever reason, it's turned up a notch. They really, I'm not sure if they have done it in the recent patch that they put out on console, but they really, and I mean really, need to tone down gun sway. Apparently some squads can also fix gun sway. For instance, I believe, I don't know which squads they are, but apparently some squads can tone down gun sway, which is why it's tuned up so high. For instance, look at how I'm shooting these guys. In any game of Verdun, that's a kill right there that I just had, and that could also be a kill. I might have missed him just barely, but there are some shots that I know I hit that for some reason do not connect because of the gun sway, and my buddy Trace, I've seen him stream this game a couple times recently, where he's just like, what the fuck? It's just too much. Apparently stamina has something to do with that as well. If you have full stamina, your aim is just a little bit better than it would have been if you are on half or a quarter stamina. Which, again, I understand why stamina plays a factor, but I don't fully understand why the gun sway needs to be tuned up so much to the point where it's almost impossible to aim at a long distance. The Mosin Nagant, I noticed it more so than the Russian repeater, but it really is just bad. It's bad, and I think they do need to tone it down a lot for this game to survive on console, because it has a pretty decent player base for its first couple of weeks out, but if they don't fucking fix this shit, I can already tell you a lot of people are just gonna fuck off out of this game and play Battlefield 1 or some shit like that. Okay, for instance, that's another kill right there, and I killed that guy. But that first guy I tried to shoot, that's a kill in fucking Verdun, easy. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But again, the sway in this game, I've championed Verdun and how much of a skill gap it has compared to other first-person shooters, but Tannenberg just fucking really takes that skill gap up a notch for apparently no reason whatsoever. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. Other than that, I think the only other thing I could complain about when it comes to Tannenberg is the fact that for some reason the player base or the games are pretty small compared to the maps that are in this game, which I actually like a lot of the maps. Some maps I like more than others. This one's called Dobruja, which is pretty good. It's not terrible, other than the trench capture points I can't stand, but I mean, Dobruja is a pretty good map. There's a couple other maps I like that I just don't remember the name of. I think Romania was another one I liked, but but for whatever reason, the player base when this game released, in terms of bots and the max team number, it was really small. I don't know why. I guess they couldn't. But I heard it recently was patched. The bots are now from like whatever the standard Verdun number is to more, I guess. I think it's a slightly more now, which is good because it'll fill up the map a little bit more, because I honestly feel like this game is a game that needs the 64 player limit, but I guess console can't handle that sort of thing. I mean, I will say this. Verdun on most maps could handle the 32 players. Tannenberg cannot. I mean, I think there's like 40 players in this game, and I still think it's too small. That's just my opinion. I think they could have easily nudged it up higher, but I guess the net code that this game has, because this company M2H is just so small that I guess they can't get the coding correct. As the old saying goes, there are no bugs in Verdun or Tannenberg. So that's all I have to say about that. Other than that, you know, Tannenberg is a fun game. It's basically, if you played Verdun, you know how to play Tannenberg. There's really not much of a difference besides how the game modes play. And other than the gun sway, that's pretty much the only major complaint I have about the game. But other than that, the squads feel alright. And the squad play is a little bit annoying to deal with compared to Verdun. So, anyway, guys, that's pretty much my review on Tannenberg. if you have played the game, do me a favor. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. And let me just let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think about stuff like the gun sway and the squad play and that sort of thing. Have you played the game on PC? Where to the point where maybe it's better on PC than it is on console? These are questions I really would like to know, because I was looking forward to this game when it came out, but right now I'm kind of just like, it's a serviceable game to play. That's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next upload. Have a great day, and peace out.